About another minute and we'll get started. All right. All right, let me get the PowerPoints up and we'll get started. I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. Give me 1 second. Make y'all bigger. All right, sorry, just setting up my screen. All right, motivation. Motivation. Start. All right. So, motivation. Get motivated, stay motivated. How can you motivate people? That is kind of what we're going to be talking about. And motivation is very hard to kind of give somebody. You can yell at them to motivate them, but that's not always a good strategy. But motivation is, uh, I think, a very hard thing to teach somebody if they're not motivated. Right? What is motivation? Motivation is an employee, um, basically that has drive, that has the drive, and that has basically wants to accomplish their work uh, really fast, are very, you know, like they're so motivated to do it, they get it done really fast, type of deal. That's motivation. But uh, for me, it's trying to get someone to do a job that they don't want to do, but they still have to do it. For example, like cleaning the kitchen, or scrubbing the floors, or cleaning out the drains and the bottom. Sometimes people are not motivated to do that kind of work, but to get the job done, it has to it has to be like that. You've got to be motivated. You got to want to do it. You got to need to do it. But motivation is one of those things where it's very difficult to teach someone if they're not self motivated. So, um, basically, some people work for the love of the work, right? Some people love just working. Others work for personal and professional fulfillment. And then Other people work for accomplishing goals or personal missions. They have, I mean, I think when you go to work, you're not always going to be 100% motivated, right? You're going to have some days where, you're just not motivated as much, right? Because I could only imagine all of y'all. I know I've had some days where I'm just like not motivated. It's too hot, or I'm too tired, or whatever else. Just motivation is difficult. But when you're at work, if you have a staff of people that are not motivated to do anything, it could really screw up your day in your business, because not motivated people, they won't pick up the trash on the floor, or they won't do certain things. So having a motivated person is employees is very important for success of your business. Okay. So some people have personal missions uh, that are, others truly love what they do. Who have you ever had anybody, or have you ever worked a job that you just absolutely love the job? Anybody? Uh, Raise your hand, or unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay, who is that, Eric? Okay, so hey guys, you know what? We've got everybody in class today. This is the first day that most everybody's been in class. So congratulations. So let's see. Now, Eric, you had a job that you really loved. And have you had a job that you really hated?
Yes.
Okay, so in those two situations, the one job you liked and the one job you hated, how much did you give more of yourself and more of your, you know, did you work harder for the one that you liked more?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And those are the things that if you don't like your job, you're not going to work as hard. You're not going to go and scrub the floor as good as you would if you liked that job, or if you liked your peers as well. If you had problems with your peers or your coworkers, you're going to have some maybe problems getting motivated as well. If you're having problems with the staff as well as just hating your job, it's that's very difficult. And has anybody ever been in a job where you just had one slacker that had never did anything, that didn't care about anything at all, that just came in, clocked in and clocked out, and only did their job and wouldn't help out with anybody? Those are the people that are not motivated, that you don't want to, you should cut and get new people if that happens, because if that happens every single day, they're in it for themselves. They're not in it for, I mean, they're in it for the paycheck or whatever else, or they're just, you know, they're not a good team player. So just be very careful with that. Um, Remember, you trade your time for money. And granted, hey guys, I mean, unless you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or any of that sort of stuff, you're not going to get paid as much as you hope you would, no matter what. I think I deserve a lot more money, or I would love to get more money, or whatever else. Same thing for y'all, probably. You get motivated. Some people get motivated on how much they make, but if you're not making much money, how can you be motivated? You know, a lot of people will say, well, I'm not motivated because they're paying me almost nothing or whatever. And that, so they're just not going to give back anything or not help uh, create anything. So motivation is a major thing. Um, what is your personal reason for working? Uh, the bottom line, you know, really, what is it that you know, I I know for me, one of the things I love about my job is I get to be surrounded by people that really want to learn about the food industry. And um, so, well, you know, I'm motivated of working in the food industry. I love it. I love uh, teaching, but I love the contact as well, the physical, like us, like being around each other, right? That this is something that is very difficult for me uh, to do is online because I like more being in front of you and you know having a good conversation and unfortunately online there's not much good conversation. It's mostly one-sided, and I'm not. This is something that I'm learning how to, you know, how to do. But at the very beginning of it, when all of this started, I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to keep people, you know, teach people online, you know, not online. But it's getting better and better every time. So the motivation is is getting more and more because it was the fear of the unknown, right? On all of this sort of stuff. But getting motivated was was something different because it was different. Um, but people have their own ways of making money. You know, some people are in it for the money, some people are in it for the salary, some people are in it for, I mean, not salary, the benefits. Some people are in it just to better themselves. Um, I want to better myself every single day. I want to learn something new. And that's something that motivates me. I try to every day learn something from y'all. And that's one of my motivations to get something, take away from y'all that I didn't know. So that's one of my motivations. Sometimes motivation is uh, uh, with your family, with your church, or any sort of uh, you know any sort of thing that will help you motivate to go to work every single day and bust your ass every single day. And that's a tough one. And if people, you know, people lose their motivation. You know, I've been at places where you know it gets tiresome, it gets boring, and when for me, when I get bored, that's when I usually quit because I start losing my motivation. I don't have as much motivation to work at that job as I used to. So I would quit at that point. But some people don't realize that and they just don't quit and it gets worse and worse and worse. Hold on. Let's see here. The underplayed the important to underplay the importance of money and benefits as motivation for people who work is a mistake. Yeah, because no matter what, you're not going to get the as much benefits as you want or as much uh, you know money as you want, and it's a false, kind of a false motivation sometimes. Um, let's see, fair benefits and pay and compensation of a successful company. So yeah, here are like a little like kind of a what would you call that thing? Oh, that thing on that. Is this a word? High, like a, what would you call this kind of a thing right here? Anybody know? With this kind of
What you
a,
call what?
with all the words around it, is that like the, where, is there a name for this kind of a, I don't know, whatever you call it, hodgepodge of different words. I don't know how you would call it, but I do like it. It's got a bunch of words all around it that for employee benefits. You got salary packages, you got perks, you have insurance, vacation, dental, taxable, staff, medical, workforce. You have all these, hodgepodges of the words all put together that kind of create the benefit package kind of a deal. But all of those things are uh, things that people look at to get motivated or that might motivate you. Um, let's see, fair benefits are basically side note, basically. Fair benefits are insurance, health, dental, vision, disability, life insurance, paid time off, vacation, sick days, and retirement plan. For me, at this point, I'm like 48 right now, and I've got a daughter just leaving to go to college, and I've got a daughter, a sophomore in high school. And, so I'm looking for, okay, I'm maybe not looking, I'm looking more for stability, and I'm looking for retirement packages. I'm looking for, paid time off, sick days, all of that sort of stuff. So that's what motivates me. One of the things that motivates me is, my health insurance, my things that I need to stay afloat in my personal life. So vacation benefit package, retirement plan, like a 401k plan, they, uh, you know, a lot of companies will match up to a certain percent on your 401k. If you put in $100, they'll put in $50 extra or whatever else just to match your retirement to help you boost up your retirement a little bit. But those are the things I look for when I'm looking for a company to work for. Good benefits, because that for me, I'm in it for the long term. So I'm looking for benefits. I'm looking for stability. That's what motivates me in some jobs nowadays. Okay. Let's see. The the research says, in fact, that so money, I mean, money is one of those things where, uh, does anybody that has their camera on raise your hand if if you feel like you have get paid as much as you're worth? Anybody? Do you get paid as much as you think you're worth? I, you know, yeah, yeah. If you, I guess what I'm asking is your the the money you're making, is that what motivates you? Like, what motivates everybody? Austin, what motivates you?
The work ethic
Work? Okay.
around everything.
Well, what makes you, just being around everybody and that kind of motivates you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where, Isaac. Isaac, you awake? Or can you hear me? Okay. Um, Kevin,
Um,
what
not going to
motivates you?
jail.
Not going to jail. Okay. That's great. Um, what else motivates people? Ms. Pope, what motivates you?
Doing something that I enjoy doing. Like when I was working with kids,
Nice.
I
Okay.
was doing a teaching position, not getting paid as a teacher, so
Ah,
but I
that
didn't mind it.
sucks. That sucks, but it was fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Faith, are you there?
Yeah. When people take pictures of my food that I send out.
Nice. Okay. So, some recognition. Nice, nice. Okay. Anybody else wanna? Eric, did I ask you?
No,
Eric, what motivates you?
I would say just combining food palettes and just making food in general. It's just my passion.
Yeah, making food. I mean, yeah, totally. And sometimes, the issue is give, you can't make people have that passion, right? You can't give someone, like Eric, you were probably born with that passion, or you kind of figured out how to create, passion or whatever else. And I think that's something that is missing in a lot of people at work, is the passion, is the love of the product or whatever else. I always say to my employees or any of my students, the food has never done you wrong. The food never made you sleep, never made you cheat. The food never made you have a foreclosed house. So don't ever take out your anger out on the food, because the food has done nothing to you. It's just that you're frustrated with everybody else, so you take out your frustration out on the food. But passion is what you need, and especially in this industry, guys. This industry is not always the funnest. You're working when most people are on vacation, because everybody, the main time that you're cooking, I mean, everybody's on vacation, or you're working when everybody's not working. Uh, you're on your feet a lot. You're in a sweaty, hot ass kitchen. But you know what? I love it. I love that. That like turns me on. That excites me. That gets me all excited about it. I love the food industry, and that's something that you can't. It's either you have that or you don't. You don't have the passion, or you have the passion. Um, let's see. Workforce article, that's a lot of quotes. Okay. Well, or let's see, what people want from work is, what do you want from your job? I mean, you can look up here for some quote or some ideas, but what do you look for? What people want? What do people want from their work? Is what? What do you want from your work? if you work, or if you don't, just think of when you did work. Anybody?
Stability and like a good environment
You said good environment?
and stability.
Stability. Yes, for sure. Stability in a good environment. Anybody else have a good, what you want to see? What do you want from your job? I think stability is probably one of the main things for me. And I like not a negative place. I don't like negativity. Negativity, a negative, like everybody, like woe is me, negative, and all of that. It's just, it sucks the energy, the good energy out of the room. Hold on, someone put something in chat. I need to look. Trusting employees for sure. You need to trust your employees, but if you don't, that causes, okay, let's say you're the manager and you're gone out for the night, or you left, and you don't trust people, you know when you're gone. That's very difficult uh, to deal with, because of you know you're going to always think the worst, and I think trusting your employees is very important to do. But but my whole philosophy is trust, but also verify. Make sure that you can trust them, but I just want to verify that it's done. So for me, it's trust but verify. And hold on, someone else put something. Uh, Progress, making sure that you stay or there was a progression. Is that what you're saying? That things are progressing along when you said progress? Okay. That doesn't, you're not sitting there stagnant, and you're just progressing, and you're not staying and learning one task, or having one task, the same task over and over again. You're progressing into different um, or more challenging work while you're going there. Let's see. Go to the next one. Okay. There's some, like for example, when you start working, or when you go into the school and start like cooking and all of that, I want to make sure that you uh, have clear goals and clear expectations for when you go into a job. You need to have kind of good goals. What are your goals? What do you want to get out of this? And that's where the 5-year, the 10-year plan, or whatever, or even a 2-year plan, whatever you want to call it, or however far you want to go with it. Having a plan. Making sure you have goals that you set for yourself. Hey, I want to learn this, this, and this. I want to um, go in, just make sure you have a good set goals in mind, good clear goals of what you're going to be doing. That helps you stay motivated, because if you have a goal in mind, right? If you have one goal and you're trying to get to that goal, once you get that goal, are you gonna just say, screw it, I'm done, I captured that one goal, and that's it? Or are you gonna go, okay, well, I met this goal, now I'm gonna try to meet another goal? So where you're always at least striving for better, getting better, learning more, all of that. So at least it helps motivate you in that way. Um, all right. All right. So to belong. Uh, all right. So the opportunity for growth and development is what is it? The opportunity for growth and development is what? It starts with the M. Motivational. Yes, thank you. I just want you to keep that that word in your mind of motivational, something that will motivate you. So anything, the opportunity of growth and development is motivational. So if I say, hey, Kevin, you're gonna, if you do this, and this, and you learn this, I will promote you to this. So it is motivational. So making sure you have room to grow. I've been at some jobs where it's a dead end job. There is no, I can't move up. Like, for example, like a line cook or whatever else. The two sous chefs, or the sous chef and the executive chef, had just gotten there. So they're not going to leave unless they get fired. So, so the whole thing is I was not going to be able to move up because I was a saucier, and the next step of the saucier would be the sous chef. Well, the sous chef just got hired, so I was not going to get moved up in that position for a long time. So my motivation kind of went downhill, and then I went and found a different job. But just motivating, keeping myself motivated is kind of important as well. Okay, leadership is a key to motivation. Yeah, guys, you can put titles on jackets. You can put executive chef. You can put manager. You can put whatever the heck you want to on your jacket. But the plain and simple of it is leadership. If your leadership is not motivating you, or trying to motivate you, or to better yourself, or to better anything about your job, your leadership is what drives that horse, right? They drive the truck, they drive the horse, whatever you want to call it. They drive it because a good leader can't, it's not a cookie cutter operation. Each person is different. Each person motivates. Who needs a recognition? Who needs that a boy, or that a girl, or that hey, you did a great job. I'm so proud of you. That recognition, that stuff. That is what a good leader should do. Is go and tell your employees how much we appreciate you. I mean, guys, honestly, sometimes just appreciation, like, hey, you did an amazing job. I'm so proud of you. All of that does a lot, right? It makes you feel good, doesn't it? It should, like, hey, you did a great job. I'm so proud of you. It was the most beautiful, fruit tray, or the most beautiful plate, the most sexy looking plate, or whatever you want to say. But that positive reinforcement goes a long way for your employees. So just remember that, making sure that you can't, I'm going to just say, I can't treat you know, everybody the same. I can't, Kevin and Austin, they probably get motivated totally differently. I can't cookie cutter an operation. I can't cookie cutter motivation because maybe Eric and Austin and Kevin and
No,
Miss,
not Eric.
but maybe all of those, they all have different things that motivate them differently. And trying to find out what motivates your employee so you can help with that is, I think, the most important key to your operation. And Eric put in the chat, yes, me, Kevin. Excuse me. But motivation, just telling people clear, give them a clear picture, give them a framework of what, sometimes, managers will just tell you to do something and they don't really do anything, or they don't, tell you how to do it or whatever else. They just say, okay, do it. Um, you know, Sometimes you need to make sure you have a clear view of what you're supposed to be doing. And that could cause some problems if you have a bad leader that does not communicate properly. I think it's very important to not, you need to have it be able to clear, concise, explain the project to them frontwards and backwards, and so they know exactly what to do. But a lot of the leadership, it's all on management. It's all on management and being a middle manager, like you're kind of in the middle and not really always in charge, but you're just kind of middle management. That's kind of very difficult to be in. But just support. I mean, look at all these words. These words are great. Planning, professionalism, teamwork, management, career, customers, service. All of these are great leadership goal motivations right there, and making sure that everybody is kind of got that in their mind. Hold on, someone put it something in the chat. Let's see. Recognitions for performance motivation. Recognition. Who likes to be, if you're sitting in a meeting or sitting with all your peers and someone says, your boss says, hey, you did a great job, just motivating you by recognition and getting you to stand up and everybody clap or whatever else, but just any sort of motivation. Just when some sort of recognition, a plaque, your name on the wall, what I used to do is to motivate my cooks was to basically, I would have a contest each week, and my employees would cook a dish that kind of goes with the restaurant. They would create a dish, and we would vote on it, and that would be the weekly special for the week. And they would have their name on it, say, something burger, Cliff's Burger, or
Oh, wow.
you know, whatever else. So give my employees recognition, so they could keep in. What I would do is once they do that, um, I would save one of the menus and I would give it to them, kind of so where a menu kind of in a little plaque kind of a thing. We went down to like Michael's and they had a bunch of like little kind of picture frames and really cheap, and I would do that and give it to my employees, and just letting them have their name on a menu are putting their name on a menu, it gave them so much motivation because it made them have, you know, this is their dish that they created on their menu, with my name, or you know, with their name on it and all of that sort of stuff. I think that's a great motivation, trying to give them that spotlight, to put them in the spotlight. Guys, as when you are a manager, don't expect any spotlight, don't expect anything like that. You have, once you get into management role, your glory is gone. Okay, you're not working for you anymore. You're working for the team. And like if, for example, like when you're in the, when you start cooking at our school, eventually, what you know, what, like we have buffets and we have, I'll cook some food or whatever else, or my students will cook food, but they'll, you know, someone will say, hey, Chef Cliff, you know, hey, your class did or that food you did was really good. And I was like, no, it's not my food. The class made it. I want the class to get that recognition, not me, because I don't need it anymore. I mean, that's not what I'm, you know, that kind of recognition for me is not what I want. I want to boost your ego and boost your, you know, boost you up and make you feel good. So where you have a good, you're motivated and you start doing a lot more stuff if you have that confidence, right? And I need to build, as a manager, I need to build all my employees' confidence. And that's something that's very important as well. Deflating motivation. Okay, what to know about destroying motivation at work. Managers ask about how to motivate employees, but employees naturally naturally experience motivation as any employee. Yeah. Right. So when you have like in a, if someone is trying, if I wanted to say, um, hey, you know, if I started giving you motivation and then I just kind of then go, why the hell are you such a dumbass? You know, I mean, and then, I mean, that right there is not motivation, right? You know, I just went and said, hey, why are you such a dumbass? I mean, who would
Ton of
any,
motivation.
I mean, that's military motivation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because they motivate more out of fear.
Yeah.
So they motivate by fear, right? You know, they kind of yell at you, and they, you know, especially during basic training, right? And let's just talk about basic, right? You know, they try to put the fear of God in you, right? They yell at you, scream at you. They want to break you down and build you the way that they want to build you, right? So they basically take you to your lowest point and then they go, okay, I love you, we're going to build you up, kind of a thing. So where they kind of build you up a little bit, and but everybody gets the same, it's a kind of a cookie cutter operation. Everybody gets yelled at, everybody gets treated the same way. That would just piss me off. All right. It works. I'm reading stuff in the chat line. Not for everybody, for sure. Fear is sometimes not the best way of doing it. It gets the job done. Honestly, it does get the job done, but it's not a good motivating factor for anybody whatsoever. The military have it down to a fine art. I mean, how long is basic training, Kevin?
Mine was 3 months, but I think it's 2
Okay.
now.
Okay, but they do their job. They break you in those 2 months or 3 months, don't they? Yeah, they break you, and then they break you, but they always build you up, and that's their way of motivating people and getting people to work as a team. They just break everybody down so where you only have your teammates to fall back on, and your teammates motivate you, and that's kind of how they do the military, and maybe not the best way to doing that in a kitchen setting.
No, it's not break. It's more kind of drilling. Like, look, these are the basic rules. This is what's going to keep you alive, and drilling that
Yeah.
in your head.
Yeah. But they do it in such an angry way sometimes, right? I mean, they're yelling at you and make you run and run and run until your body can't take it anymore. You're mentally and physically shot, and then they figure out, okay, now let's build you up the way we want you to be built. Lean, mean fighting machine.
Like that, it sounds bad.
No, I'm not trying to put it in a bad light. I'm just saying that that's the military's way of kind of getting everybody all in one on a sync, because everybody else is kind of doing their own thing, but you put everybody in one situation, and in the military your teammates, your crew, or whatever you want to call it, your squad or whatever else, helps motivate you, because everybody's in the same boat, and that's also the same thing for like a kitchen. Everybody's in the same boat, and you try to motivate everybody, to keep people going and to keep people wanting to come back every single day. And if you've ever worked in a kitchen, it's hot in the summertime. You're busting your ass, and especially not as much on the COVID days right now, but I mean, summer in Austin is like pumping. I mean, the hotels are just full, and just trying to keep your employees motivated every day to come and get their butt just whooped every single day. In a kitchen, you've got to figure out something to motivate people. I mean, back in the days, they would do these shift drinks into a mixed drink or a free drink, if you wanted it at the end. Unstable. If I'm gonna lose, let me know if I'm losing any people. We're gonna take a break in about 5 minutes anyway. All right, so are y'all frozen? Y'all there?
I'm back.
Y'all are there? Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. Like I hate when I get treated like a kid at a job. I don't like, are they someone, it's like they're the mom, I'm the little son or the little boy, or they're the dad, and I'm getting scolded or whatever else. Don't treat your employees like children. Do not. All right, let's since this is number one, I don't want to go anymore since we're going to do a break. Let's come back at 7:30 or 7:20. What do you want? 30 or 20? 7:30. So 30 minutes. All right, hold on. Let me look. Hold on. People are. All right, 30 it is. I'll see you at 7:30. Peace. All right, we all ready? All right, so stop treating people like they are your employees, like children. You know, no one wants to be treated like a child. That it just belittles the employee, and you just do not want that whatsoever. So I would try to avoid any sort of, you know, treating them like kids or any of that sort of stuff. I know I don't like to be treated like a kid, whatever else. So, um, you know, just try to avoid that as much as possible. Right? Stop making rules for, uh, you know, stop making rules for many because of the behavior of a few. Like, you know, if there's some behavior, let's don't punish the whole group. Let's say, just punish the people that are doing the behaviors, right? Don't go and do a blanket statement of, okay, everybody, I'm going to punish everybody because these two people or whatever else. So you don't want to do that as much. You want to kind of take care of the problem, not just, you know, take care of it as a group. You should take care of it as an individual basis type of deal. Um, Stop focusing on mistakes and errors. Yeah, because if you focus in on everybody's negative, right? If I focus in on, you know, everybody's the always the negative side, people are just going to, you know, just know that every time that you open your mouth, it's going to be negative. So just trying to make sure that it's not as belittling or degrading or any of that sort of stuff. And, you know, yeah, they know they messed up. Let's don't repeat it over and over and over again, okay? Because employees don't want to hear that. They know they screwed up. Stop applying basically unfair or unjust policies and procedures or policies. Um, you know, making sure that you're not coming up with these random, you know, procedures or random, uh, you know, I would say rules, if you will, of, you know, just making it all kind of balanced out. It's, you know, don't make all these crazy ass rules. You know, people don't like, you know, those types of rules or whatever else. Just like some random, and I can't think of one right now. Uh, but just follow. You know, make sure everybody is following the procedures and requirements for things. What's number 5? Anybody want to read number 5? Or just the highlighted or the bold letters? Stop what? Stomping on employees. What?
You're not screen sharing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was. My apologies. My, there we go. My apologies. Um, stomping on people's ideas and people's you know, individual ideas. Don't stomp on, don't tear up people's ideas. The more you tear down people, the more disgruntled the employees are going to be. So try not to beat someone down, beat someone's ideas down, or degrade them or belittle them just because of it. It's not necessary. Not in a workplace. Back in the days, people, but again, it is a dog eat dog world out there, and the you've just got to be very careful with you know what you're doing to your employees, because they're the ones that make it all happen. um, let's see. Stop telling employees that they are not empowered when they are not when they are really not empowered. Basically, hey, you're in charge, but no, not really. They're not in charge. You know, they're not in charge of their destiny. I am. As a manager, I'm supposed to put them in a good light and take care of them and all of that. So just make sure if you're giving them authority, make sure you give them the authority. Don't go and undermine them or whatever else. If you're going to empower them by doing certain things, then let's foster that and create more empowerment, and that will make people want to do their job more because they're empowered to do certain things. So and stop what? Who wants to read number or just the bold letters where it's stop what? Violating.
Violate employees' confidentiality by sharing information inappropriately.
Yes. Like, for example, if I just say, all right, I'm going to use Kevin. Are you okay with me using you as an example?
Sure.
All right. Okay, thank you. I just need to use somebody. But if I said, well, Kevin's got this disease and he can't do it. Well, I just said some way personal information. I said he's got a disease. He's not able to do a certain job, so I need you to do it. Well, that totally goes against everything that you should do. You shouldn't tell people what the reason. You don't need to tell them a reason. Just, hey, I need you to do this. Kevin is not going to do it today. And that's all they need to know. They don't need to know why Kevin is. If Kevin wants to tell them, then that's fine. But it's not my place to tell them. Does that make sense? That's a FERPA violation, or I can't say I can't say that you have a learning disability. I can't say that you have there's some. I can't share any let's say you're gone because you had temple and you had to leave work early. I can't say, well, he went to temple because that's something that he needs to say. I should not say. I shouldn't say anything about my employees when they're not, talk about their personal or any of that sort of stuff. I should not talk about any of that. I shouldn't say, oh, well, hey, Eric, Chef Cliff's not going to be here because Cliff's not going to be here because his car broke down and he doesn't have any money to fix his car. So then I'm telling you all of the personal information about me, and you should not do that. Just making sure that you keep everything confidential. because some people don't want to spread that they have, whatever, learning disability, or, they can't do certain things or whatever else. So you could get legally liable for leaking personal information or telling personal information out to somebody else. Um, Review what the employees can't control. Basically, guys, if it's, you've got to ask yourself one question. Is it in my control? Yes or no? That's it. That's all I need you to ask is it in your control? Yes or no? And a lot of the times it's no. So you need to, when it's not in your control, and uh, you need to make sure your employees know if it's not in control, you can't do anything about it. Like some of those people that are the Karens out in the world right now, type of deal where they're creating a lot of, they're, some people are getting on viral, talking about not wearing a mask or whatever else. I would tell my employees, okay, hey, yes, Governor Abbott, said we need to wear a face mask, but if someone comes in not wearing a face mask, I will take care of it because I don't want to put my employees at risk of starting a fight or whatever else. So it's out of their control if an employee or if a customer walks in without having a mask on. It's out of their control. And I would need to deal with that, not the employee, because as a manager, I know a little more, maybe a few more different ways how to deal with the customer. Just like one employee that was amazing, and he was a manager at Costco, but when one of the guys was complaining about wearing a mask in Costco, you could see that manager, he used his skills and his way of, hey, I'm sorry, be in here. It's just the rules. So thank you, but please leave. Uh, and he used his management skills and his reasoning to basically just diffuse the situation. But if you put your employees into that, maybe they are not as capable of dealing with uh, irate customers or whatever else, and that's kind of how management needs to take care of it. Let's see. Here's a little video that you can watch on YouTube. Stop setting unattainable goals and personal. Basically, stop making unattainable goals. That's what I call like the you kind of bait and switch kind of a thing. Hey, if you do this, you might get a raise or you might get a promotion. It's that whole bait and switch. You might, carrot on a stick type of thing. I'm going to dangle this carrot in front of you, but and the carrot could be anything, money, it could be time off, it could be whatever. But I'm dangle a carrot in front of you, and then that will motivate you. But if I don't give you that item, excuse me, hold on. If I don't give you that item that you need to, that I dangled in front of you, then it's kind of that bait and switch, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're not going to want to finish or to you know you're not going to get a raise or you're not going to get anything. So make sure you have an attainable goal for each employee. Um, there are some top reasons why employees are not motivated. Yeah, what are some reasons why people wouldn't be motivated? Anybody?
Your boss is a dick.
Boss is a dick, of course. That's for sure a good one. What else?
Zero incentive. I mean,
Could you say it again?
no incentive. I mean, if
No
there's nothing,
incentive. Yes.
you're not really working towards anything. If there's no carrot at the end of the stick,
Yep.
and what's the point in trying?
That's very true. Exactly. Or that carrot will never get to you at all. If there
Right.
is a carrot, you're not. They're gonna. The manager wants to keep you in that position because they know they can. They trust you. They want you to do it, but they dangle it just so where you'll do it. You'll do a great job, but then they go, oh, well, maybe the next time you do this, or do it again and keep up the good work, and then I'll reward you, and that reward never comes, and that's a shitty way to manage right there. Do you agree? Managing like that is not the best. In managing in false hopes, basically, and no one wants false hopes. Um, so just making sure you uh, give them positive and morals, morally, and back them positively and morally. 10 factors that enhance motivation. Uh, let's see. Here are some right here. Treat employees with respect. How many times have you wanted, you've been at work and you go, God, I feel like my boss has no respect for me, or whatever else that the employee, the bosses or the upper management treat employees with disrespect. I mean, that's a huge one that I would leave, because I don't like to be felt like I'm just um, I'm just a piece of trash, kind of, that they can use me and abuse me, kind of a deal, and that's just not going to happen. Minimize the number of rules and policies in the more rules, the more barriers, the more hoops, what I call hoops, that you have to make it all happen. I The less that you have to jump through, the better it is. And just because if you make it too hard for employees, they're going to give up. They're not going to want to do it, and that's what some do. Um, all right, so hold on, where did I leave off? Sorry. Provide regular employment recognition. Yeah, man, recognition. Like, you name it. Just trying to make the your individuals, your employees, they are wanted and needed. And being wanted and needed is very important. So make sure no matter what, make sure your employees know that you want and you need them every single day. because if not, it gets tiresome after a while, and you lose a lot of people if you don't treat them with respect. Um, let's see, like my recognition of getting people to uh, create something and put it on a menu. I think that is great recognition. Um, Feedback and coaching for management and leaders, for sure. Guys, people get promoted all the time to managers and to leaders and to all of that. And the issue is if you don't give the managers resources and give them training, they're never going to grow and be better managers and be better, uh, bosses or whatever else. So you need to spend a little money on continuing education for the leaders and for the management so they know how to manage better, because you get put in a role and you now are the manager, and sometimes you don't have you've never been a manager. What do you do? How do you do it? I need some guidance and make sure that I'm setting my managers up to succeed, not to fail. Does that make sense? So you always want to set your management staff into a successful leadership instead of bringing them into a negative leadership or any of that sort of stuff. Let's see. Benefit packages, yes. Again, that's something that I look at. Provide employees with perks of company. Like, let's say if you were working at Dell, you got stock options, or if you're with Apple, you get stock options, or Google, you'll get stock options, you'll get vacation, whatever. A lot of these places work with companies like I know I've gotten like a 10% discount off of my cell phone company because my company has a discount set up with AT&T or whatever else. So there's discounts and perks, and like at a hotel, they'll pay for your, they'll give you a free place to stay every once in a while or whatever else. So just all the perks that you get from the job. Let's see. I just make sure you manage with a good framework, and you have goals and how to measure those goals, and to make sure that your employees are meeting those goals that you set for them. Just give me a few more minutes, and Chef Robin is going to be on, come log on in just a second and talk to y'all. So just give me a few more minutes, and then Chef Robin's gonna, the management team is gonna be coming to talk to all of y'all. Let's see. Make the minimum number of rules, publish the rules, make sure that any rules you have are written down somewhere so your employees can see it. Because if you don't write it down, if you don't have it clear, if you don't have it posted somewhere, how do your employees know not to do this certain thing, or not, their rules and regulations? You need to make sure that your employees know what your rules and regulations are, and don't hide them, because then someone's gonna, then they'll think you're making up stuff. Oh, well, the rule is they can't do this or can't do that. Well, let me see the rules. Let me see where you're getting. And they're like, no, I don't have any. I don't have it right now, or whatever else. So you just need to make sure that you watch those rules and regulations. involve people to inspire your them motivate. Basically, bring in some people, bring in people to help motivate. If you can bring in a celebrity chef, or if you can bring in, or get them to demo, your employees to demo something, whatever it is, just make sure you know have something that will keep your employees motivated. Um, you know, anything. Like I used to give out gift cards. I used to give out, you name it, anything to help motivate people to do the job as well as they want to. And sometimes, a little bit of bribery never hurts. When you give them a gift card, free money, anything like that, people want it, right? Let's do a employee. Let's take all the employees out for dinner. Let's go uh, do a family employee night or something like that. So, just something to motivate them to do their job as well as they can. Um, I think just motivating, just trying to get them to get motivated. Um, Empowering employees to get involved. What I really like is my employees to be they get empowered by doing, like empowering them to create new uh, cleaning schedule, or hey, this job well enough, why don't you write a new job description down, or why don't you, so I give them a little bit of authority, give them a little bit of empowerment to make them feel like they're part of the team, because they are, and making sure that everybody is there and is present, and that is wanting to better the restaurant and better their job. So empowering your employees to come up with great ideas or any of that sort of stuff, very important. Helpful hints. One second, make this bigger. Hello, Shannon.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, let me stop sharing my screen real quick.
Well, no, Robin's not here yet. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, here, I'm going to just stop it. All right. So, guys, there's a person on, his name is Shannon. Shannon is, what is your title?
Student Services Coordinator.
Student Services Coordinator. And then Chef Robin will be on in just a second, and they're both going to be just kind of going over some information for y'all, so you kind of feel like you have a little more, because I know someone was asking for David's email and all of that sort of stuff, so I sent you that, but they're going to give you a little more information about the school and student services and certain items. So we're going to let them kind of do their little spiel, and then we'll end the class after they finish. If you need to use the restroom or anything, why don't y'all head over there now and come back here in just a couple minutes, and then we'll get started.
I jumped over his couch.
And Shannon, I'm recording this, so it will be on online.
Great.
Do you want me to call Chef Robin?
Oh, she should be on her way.
Oh,
It shouldn't be long.
oh. No, it's fine. Just a couple more minutes, guys. Are there any questions about what we were talking about? Any questions? Or are we all good? We're all good. Kevin, you're good? All right, cool.
Hey, I'm good.
Oh. Hey, I will also post on that shared drive that I put in that you have a link to. I will post a few projects that you can look at and you can kind of get an idea on how the project is laid out, okay? So I will be posting a few old students' old projects so you can kind of have an idea of how it all works.
Well, she must be on the phone with someone, Cliff.
Okay.
So I can go ahead and do my part.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right.
Okay, guys, my name is Shannon Jacobs, and I am the Student Services Coordinator here at Escoffier. My main job is well, mainly I focus on academics and attendance. So I look to you guys, I look into your attendance and academics basically every week. And if I feel like I need to talk with you about what's going on, then I'm going to contact you. Now, if you get a contact from me, either a phone call or a text or an email, please respond. It's because I have information for you that I need to give you to help you along your way. My main job, guys, is to get you across the finish line, to get you graduated. So attendance is very important. Guys, the best way to make an A, I'm just going to put it that way, to make an A in our classes is to come to school every day. You come to school, you do your work, you will be very successful at Escoffier. It's just that simple. However, I understand that there are times when you have to miss class. That is because you are ill or you have a family member who is ill. If you are in the military reserve, if you're a reservist and you have weekends that you have to go on drill, we understand that. We have a very generous makeup policy, but we watch it very carefully because we don't want anyone to take advantage of it. So if you miss class, your job is to contact your instructor for your makeup work, guys. Okay, that's the first thing you do. Your instructor will either tell you this is what you do, or they will send you to me. If they send you to me, please get to me right away so we can get your makeup done pretty much immediately, because you don't want to have to do hours and hours and hours and hours of makeup in, later on in the course or even in the next block. So you know that we go for 6-week blocks. You go for your 6 weeks. If something happens and you don't do well in the class, you have the first 2 weeks, the first 10 days of the next block to do makeup to either raise your grade or help your attendance. Generally, it's for attendance. That's what we see it the most for, but it's also for helping raise grades, guys. So like I said, if you have any questions about that, if you have any issues with that, with attendance and academics, I'm the person you reach out to, all right? I'm also basically your first contact here at the school. So if you have any question, you just send me an email. If I can answer the question, I will. If I can't, I will find the person who can answer that question for you. Okay, we have a chain of command, and I'm the one right above you guys. My job is you, basically, that's it. My job is to focus on you. So come to me with any question that you have, and I will then find the answer for you. It may not be right away, but I will find it, all right? Everybody understand that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great, great. And Chef Robin's here.
Sorry, I had some Zoom issues.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Shannon and I both are obvious morning people, as you can tell. But I want to say hello, just kind of show my face. I know I met some of you at orientation. I didn't get to meet all of you. So I just wanted to come by and say hello and kind of back Shannon up and say, honestly, the most important thing you can do is be here every day and attend. But another thing I want to put on your radar too is I think a lot of people get confused about what it takes to be truly successful within these courses, and that's doing the legwork, right? And it doesn't matter if you're in the kitchen or if you're in a gen ed class like you are right now. You got to do the heavy lifting, and just showing up isn't enough. Okay, you got to actually get in and do the work. And that means, like, if you have assignments, you got to turn those in. If you got a final project, get on it. If you need help, I know it's being virtual. It's a little bit, I know you feel like you're kind of disconnected from all of us, but we are really actually exceptionally close to you, and you have no idea. Okay. Shannon and I are watching you guys virtually all the time. We're watching your grades. We're watching your attendance. We know a lot more about you than I think you realize. So, like he said, if we reach out to you, Don't run from us. We'll always identify who we are if we send you a text or something. So hopefully you never get a text from me, because that means you're on my radar. But our job is to help you and keep you in good standing and get you across the finish line onto that graduation stage. Okay. Which I really truly hope that we go back to actually having graduations in person. We're having our first graduation virtually this Friday, which is a little sad because I love graduation. I love seeing all of you guys succeed and see you in person and, you know, pat you on the back and stuff. So this one's virtual, so it's a little bittersweet, but I'm still really super excited and proud of our students that are graduating. And but I hope that we get past all this and we watch you guys walk in person. But either way, I'll be proud of you either way. So, so you got to understand, try not to miss any days. This time that you're going to be on this campus or taking our classes or, you know, just being engaged with us is exceptionally short in your timeline. And I know right now it seems like, wow, I've got all this time. No, I can't even believe the students that are in farm to table right now about to go out and go into the world. And for me, it's just that fast. And while you're in the middle of it, it seems like forever, but when it's over, you're going to go, holy crap, that was really fast. And so I need you to savor every second that you're here and take advantage of every second, even if we are kind of separated from one another. So when we've got tomorrow, we have a chef talk. Your chef has the information. I would highly recommend you hop on. It's a Zoom call, but it's a famous chef. He's going to be hopping on talking about it. We've got one that we're working on as well. Anytime you see events like that, any way that you can kind of start getting attuned to the industry that you have now chosen to be your life, it's good to just take in and be a sponge and listen to everything. And I'm not going to say everything you hear is correct, you know, when you start working for chefs and stuff, but everything is a learning moment. Okay. So right now, I need you to be present. I need school to be your focus, because that's what's going to help you be successful and paying attention to detail and getting in here and doing the dirty work. So do you guys have any questions for me? Y'all are awfully quiet. Are y'all like, is it early? It's early. Yeah.
I think everyone's muted.
Shannon, I'm sorry I was late. It was Zoom was giving me a booger of a time.
Hey.
So Chef Cliff, do you have any questions for us?
No, I'm good. Thank y'all for coming in.
Yeah, we just wanted to put a face to the name. I think there are sometimes students, they don't know who we are when we're reaching out to them when they first start, you know, and since we've done this virtually a couple of times, and I thought this would be a good way to, like, when you see our face, you might be more inclined to engage with us. For those of you who aren't exactly sure who I am, I'm the executive chef of the campus. I kind of buried the lead on that, but yeah, I'm the top chef and bottle washer on campus. So I work in conjunction with Shannon and Kelly, our registrar, and we kind of put together your schedules and we help keep you guys afloat. Okay. Another thing I want you guys to think about, I'm looking at next block schedules, and I know that it's on everybody's mind. We are watching the virus very closely, and I have to make decisions that keep everybody safe. Okay. So I may be reaching out to some of you soon. So please keep an eye on your emails. That's how I communicate right now. That way I can track everybody. But I might want to get your temperature on something, because I know that you guys are excited to get to the kitchens, but right now it's pretty bad here in Austin. And so I want to make sure that I'm keeping you safe, but yet keeping you on course. So I might shoot you an email. Okay. So just to get your feelings on some things. So you'll find that's kind of how I roll, especially in this climate when we're dealing with this virus. What you'll learn about me is that while it's not necessarily democratic, I'm open to suggestions. Okay. And I'm a pretty open person. When campus is rolling normally, my door is always open. I don't have some secretary or something like that keeps you from walking in and talking to me. That's not how I want that to be. I want there to be access for you. That doesn't mean I want you to call me at 2:00 in the morning, but if you have something important to ask me, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Otherwise, follow the chain of command. Go to your chef first if it's about makeup, and then go from there. There's going to be then you'll go to Shannon, then you'll either go to the registrar or myself, depending on what the situation is. But always follow the chain of command. But that being said, I am here to answer your questions should you have any. Anybody else got any questions? No? I'm looking in the. All right. Well,
No, I think we're good. Thank
okay,
you.
Good. Thank you for letting me interrupt, and y'all have a good day. And
Great.
it's a little early, but have a good weekend too.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See y'all
Guys,
later.
I shared all my information in the chat. So if you don't have the chat open, please open it and take that information down. That is my Google Voice number. Since I'm working from home right now, I'm using Google Voice. The easiest way, though, is email.
Thank you, Shannon.
Sure. Have a great day, guys.
Hey, y'all
Thank
too.
you, guys. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so everybody, y'all have a great day. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Hey, Chef,
Yes.
before you close out, can I get the information down?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just tell me when you're ready or when you're done.
Okay. Okay, you can close it.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.